Let's talk NASCAR with your host, Todd Bailing, co-hosts Brian Schmidt, PJ Noodleman, and producer Dangerous Dan Margetta. Call the show anytime at 414-421-7901. And now, the creator and host of the fastest hour in radio, Todd Bailing.
And welcome to the 1,999th episode of LTN. Glad you could join us on the LTN podcast. We are live on Sunday mornings. If you're downloading this and you say to yourself, boy, I would really like to participate in that program, all you have to do is tune in live on Facebook or YouTube at 10 o'clock Central Time, and you can call the program at 414-421-7901 and weigh in and become a part of LTN. Todd Bailing in Greendale, Wisconsin, joined by my three cheesehead partners, starting with Ootsburg, USA's own Brian Schmidt. Hi, Brian.
Good morning. Yes, got to see one of the greatest performances I think I've ever seen in motorsports yesterday.
If it wasn't
Actually,
for
this morning.
Planes and rain, it never would have happened.
Correct.
PJ Noodleman over on the left coast in Trempealeau, Wisconsin. Hi.
So much to talk about today. Excited to get started.
It is, isn't it? And, of course, our own dangerous Dan Margetta in, I assume you're home, right, in St. Francis?
Yeah, first time in a couple of weeks. We're back home, and but it's like Brian said, that was cool to watch last night. And like you said, it wouldn't have happened had it not rained and we hadn't had, air transportation to get places. But I think that's one of those things, sometimes things that kind of happen like that become a great thing to be at. If you were at that race, you're probably mad it was raining. You had to be there all night. Look how long you had to sit there. But then when something like that happens, I know the guy led every lap, but you get to see something that you never
people
believed.
That don't have any idea what you're talking about because it ended at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
It was one of the greatest events, I think, and how it got put together was fantastic. Kyle Larson finished sixth. Here we are. Now we're not even mentioning that Joey Logano won the race that we're supposed to be talking about. Kyle Larson finishes sixth, but because it rained in Knoxville, Iowa, and Larson had earned a pole position for the Knoxville Nationals, and his car owner had a jet waiting on the runway, revving the engine for him as soon as the race was over. He gets out of his number 5 Cup car, gets taken to the airport, loads his ass into that plane, flies over to Pella, I guess, because Knoxville's runway wasn't long enough for the jet, and he gets a police escort from Pella, Iowa to Knoxville, where the crowd is watching updates in the rain, waiting and cheering every time they say, he's coming, he's coming. Oh, my God. And he leads every single lap from the pole and wins $212,000 at Knoxville. And I wonder what he made for his run last night at Richmond. Anybody know? Nobody knows. They don't publish that stuff anymore.
No, and the cool part about it is this isn't Kyle's stuff. Paul Silva owns the car. And it's not a super team like you see a lot of the outlaw teams. I mean, they got the best equipment you can get, but there's not a ton of employees and all that stuff. And Paul, Kyle says he does this for Paul. So he won every race he entered last week. He won last Sunday's Capitani Classic, which is a prelim for the Nationals. They go over to Oskaloosa, Iowa, on a half mile. He won that race. It paid $21,000. He won his $12,000 to win prelim race. And the reason he was there was because once you're locked into the feature, that's $15,000 to start the Nationals. So Kyle's like, this makes Paul's year. And that's why, even though he wasn't supposed to run the race, I still entered this race because if I can get in it, that's more to win most regular features. Mm-hmm. And then to have this all happen, Kyle had no aspirations whatsoever of even coming to this yesterday. And he poo-pooed it all. And he's like a kid that really wants to, have that girl over there, but knows he can't. So he just kind of poo-pooed it and just kind of, whatever. It is what it is. People would ask him, and you could tell he was getting annoyed. And even at the start of the Cup race yesterday, it hadn't started at Knoxville yet, and he was like, yeah, it's not going to happen. Well, fortunately, his crew chief, Cliff Daniels, is as big of a fan as any. So once they were monitoring what was happening, they started putting a lot of these wheels in motion while Kyle was on the track, with him not knowing it. And if you heard that video clip from was it the end of the second stage maybe yesterday, where Cliff says, yeah, just so you know, Kyle, it's raining in Knoxville. They haven't started anything yet. So we're getting stuff together for you. And Kyle was like, Knoxville? And Cliff's like, yeah, we're getting things we're getting a plan in place for you. So when this is over, you can go. And Kyle wasn't running real good. And it's like, boom, all of a sudden he started running good at, I'm not saying that has anything to do with it. They probably did a lot of adjustments on his car and he got it better, but holy cow. I mean, as soon as it was, and then after that, they decided this was probably going to be a possibility. Then they go to NASCAR and say, hey, here's what we want to do, because there's media obligations and all that stuff if you finish in the top 10. And they waived all that for him. Elton Sawyer, and I mean, kudos to NASCAR. Elton Sawyer and all the suits there said, no, yeah, we agree. Let's get you out of there. We'll get you out of there, because NASCAR orchestrated getting Kyle from Richmond to the airport, because it's not like it was back in the day where everybody has their own helicopters. Those days are long gone. These guys got to kind of fend for themselves at these tracks now more than they did before. So NASCAR orchestrated getting him to there. Hendrick had the plane ready. And then the people in Knoxville got together with their local law enforcement agency to get him from Pella, which is about a, 20, 25-minute drive, normal speed, because we stayed there many times over there, from that airport to the track, and they got him there in like 15 minutes. So it was really cool. The whole thing came together, and most of it Kyle didn't know about.
Tail number N501KL. That flight was the most tracked flight in the history of flight. What is that name of that app? Flight Radar?
Flight
24?
Tracker.
Flight Tracker 24. And I was one of them. I thought it was pretty cool. Although I have to tell you, I wasn't so excited to finish watching a race with till what time did you get to bed, Brian? 2:00? And
2:00. The interviews were over, and then I went to bed.
Oh my God. You got to really love that crap to stay up that late. And
crap.
It's not that it's crap. It's very nice. I was more impressed with the fact that Joey Logano won his second race in a month and went in 6 races. He went from 20th in the points. That's 4 out of the chase to 9th in the points. Are you kidding me? He's coming in a hurry. If you were waiting for Joey Logano to get the season started, it took him a while, but oh my God. This is absolutely incredible.
It's an even year.
Oh no.
He did it in 22. He did it in 24.
And 24 was worse than this. I mean, he wasn't even going to go. He didn't even make the top 16 in 24. And then next thing you know, there he is. Unbelievable. Well, for those of you who really don't like Saturday night NASCAR races and really want to sit in front of your television and watch racing, we have the fourth most popular series in the country, IndyCars on Fox today. The race will come on as soon as this program is over. The green flag for the IndyCars is at 11:22 this morning. Where the hell are they? Canada?
Toronto, right?
Yeah, Markham, Canada, which is a suburb of Toronto.
There you go. That's beautiful. You really, you made the moment, PJ. Thank you for that. I really think it's great. Chase Briscoe finished second last night. Oh, by the way, not one of us picked Joey Logano to win. And let's see, Cindric third. How about that, folks? This guy I think he's in danger of losing his ride, except for the fact that his dad runs Penske Racing. Denny Hamlin fourth, and Chase Elliott, remember him, was fifth. Kyle Larson ended up sixth, and then, as we said, got a escort to the airport, and it was a pretty important story. As I think the whole day for Larson turns out to be a bigger story than what Joey Logano did.
I bet he's sleeping really hard right now.
Yeah, you get that idea, don't you?
But, people at those races like that one. So, like on a dirt race, if they're at that race and someone's going to make that effort to come there and run, I think the people in the crowd really like it. Because we've had something similar at Fairbury one year where Larson was at Indy. It wasn't that far of a distance. But the people there, remember, Brian, that guy that was the guy was chopping his bushes down.
Yes.
Watching the house next to the track, and he's cutting all his bushes up. And the guy was going nuts. Like, what's going on? Kyle Larson's coming. He needs a place to park. I'm making him a place to park.
Yep. Wow. Yep. He cut his shrubs down. Here you go.
Oh, meaning to trim in the bush.
Oh, yeah, there you go. We're happy you tuned in to the LTN podcast, and we're going to use this opportunity to sneak away for our first break. Lots of fun things to talk about today. We'll be right back.
Ferraris, Porsche Porsches, Lambos, McLarens. They're all coming to Road America for GT World Challenge America, August 28th through the 30th. It's the most exotic grid of the summer, and they're not here to cruise. If you want drama, style, and world-class racing, this is your weekend. GT World Challenge America, August 28th through the 30th. Get tickets at roadamerica.com. Supercars Unleashed.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
The summer heat is on, and PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need with fresh mulch arriving daily. From premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to EnviroMulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800. Or visit pmflandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years. PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
Chimney Mechanics installs and services wood, natural gas, propane, pellet stoves, and chimneys. We service all of Wisconsin, the UP, and Northern Illinois. We repair all brands and all models of fireplaces, no matter where you bought it. We do custom chimney caps, liners, chimney fire repairs, water and stonework, water leak repairs, and replacement dampers. We do new construction and insurance work. No job is too big or too small. ChimneyMechanics.com. That's Chimney Mechanics with an X. Check us out on Facebook.
Last night's race, if you like green flag racing, you had to really like that thing. There were 29. First of all, the stages were won by Blaney, who really looked like he was the guy, and Logano. There were 29 lead changes among 10 drivers. There were only 4 cautions for 31 laps, which, you know, I like to use 15% as a kind of a guideline. You don't want, if it's any more than 15% of a race under caution, it's a shitty race as far as I'm concerned. But there was half of that, which was good. And get this, 2 of the 4 cautions were for stages anyway. There were 15 laps of a 400-lap race were under caution for problems on the racetrack. An incident with the 38 car. And Crash My Car ended up blowing his engine. 98.343 miles per hour was the average speed, and turned out to be a pretty good race. They had these tires that turned out to be quite a factor. It was a 2.5-second fall off on these tires over a 40-lap run. And boy, did it make a difference on the racetrack. Guys coming from a lap down and blowing by the leaders. And I'm like, what the hell did I just see? Yeah, it was, I liked it. It was good all the way around. And, this is one of the better racetracks as far as I'm concerned. It's a great size at a 3/4. Next year, it is going to be the opener in the Chase. And it's going to be on 9/11 next year. So, a good first race. And by the way, not one of us picked Joey Logano. I was a dumbass and picked the 3 car because I thought he was going to do 3 in a row. Can you imagine? You got to be kidding me. But overall, entertaining race. You guys agree?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it flowed all right. It wasn't like they had no there were a lot of wrecks, which was kind of cool. It was like, it flowed nice where it wasn't, one guy wasn't way out front where you thought, oh boy, I'm kind of falling asleep here. I mean, there was enough with that fall off.
Running them down.
With the, with the strategy and stuff where you could do that. He saw, when he understood what was going on, they're like, okay, this guy hasn't pitted yet, and this guy has. He's trying to stretch his tires out. This guy hasn't. You can see them actually catching each other on the racetrack. So it was actually kind of cool to follow along that way, and I thought it made it go better.
That's why I think tire fall off is an important thing in these races. With these cars, it's so hard to pass, and that's going to be an issue. The fastest car at the end of the race, I think, was Briscoe, but it's so hard to pass that you got to have the tire fall off thing to make it where you have a chance to try to leapfrog cars, and you can use a different strategy to do it. I mean, the worst thing for these cars are tracks where the tires don't fall off. Unfortunately, we had that last night, and that made the comers and the goers happen.
Yeah, it did. It was entertaining. Now, after, so we saw a 3/4 mile race last night at Richmond. Last week, it was a 7/8 mile track at Iowa. And Ty Gibbs, everybody's favorite driver, blocked his teammate Christopher Bell enough to win the FU Gabe Hart 350 last week. I like the fact. Who's that? PJ, did you come up with that? Seems like
what's that?
It was more of a FU Gabe Hart race than anything.
Yeah. I think that's the only reason really that Gibbs is up on the wheel is to do the FU to Gabe Hart.
Gibbs is not just unpopular with the fans, and he is. I don't know if you thought he was some kind of popular, because if you listen to Grandpa, it seems like he's just, everybody just loves him. He's not just unpopular. The media, he got into the media center last week, and who was saying all those marvelous things about how great he is with the media? Was one of them?
Yeah, several different media people. His post-race press conference was 7 minutes long. And if you've ever watched any of these post-race press conferences, they're usually 20 minutes, half hour. I mean, the Daytona one can go on for 45 minutes sometimes, but his was 7 minutes long. And I don't want to knock on the kid, because the kid's been through a lot of things in life over the last, 5 years, things that I can't imagine that he went through. But when you ask him a question, he gives you a straight up answer. Boom. That's your answer. It's a couple words, was your car good? Yeah, it was great. He doesn't expound on things. And there's people in the media that, I think, Dan, right? I mean, they need people to expound on them, because otherwise they got to create their own stuff, and they don't like to do that.
Right. I mean, and you can tell, I think you can tell when a driver is kind of conditioned, and it's not, I don't say scripted, but you can tell when it's just the answers, you're given just the blah answers. You're not, it sounds like you're reading from a question thing. You're not just talking like you should. And then people, there are some drivers that haven't figured out how to do that yet, and he's one of them. But some of the media people do. They like having a lot of quotes and a lot of long expounded things. So then you just run your recorder and you just transcribe what he said, and boom, your story's half written. You got already a page and a half already, and just
right.
Other unpopular drivers are really good at it. Logano and Hamlin, those guys can expound.
And they've been there around, and they've seen that, and they know how to do that. I mean, some of those guys that the media people that don't like that, I mean, I tell them, you should have been around when Joe Shear was winning races. I mean, talk about how to get quotes out of somebody.
As great as Joe Shear was driving a race car, you never knew how empty a feeling it is when you're standing with a microphone trying to interview the guy. And he looked at you with a look like he was looking past you and didn't really want to be there and didn't really like that microphone in the first place. But what a driver he was. Huh? But there are people that believe that Gibbs is sending mixed signals, like he's really not all that interested in being here. I thought he was. I thought that now that he's the apple of Grandpa's eye, he's going to be, take over the entire operation. What do you guys think?
No, I think that that's part of the step back and try to put a little distance between that, with all of Joe Gibbs' sons basically not being around anymore. Ty would seem to be the one that would eventually take over the helm of the racing operation, and I don't think he wants that. But he has gone on record and said that racing is at the center of his life. But he also said that if he wins the 2026 NASCAR Cup Series title, he would go race bikes full time. So it sounds like this is just something to check off his list on his own resume. And his heart seems to be back with the bike racing that he did. He started at 6 years old in the BMX bikes. He went on to mountain bikes, has a couple of top national rankings in that. He's done road bicycle racing. So apparently that's kind of where his heart lies, and he wants to go back to that, perhaps. I don't know.
I won't agree with that. I mean, I heard, this, and I'm thinking to myself, he really doesn't give you very much to write about. And if he's going to say some stupid shit like that, well, then everybody's going to say, hey, what about that? He wants to race a bicycle. You can race a bicycle and still be a full-time cup driver.
Motorcycle, not a bicycle.
Whatever. Yeah, bike.
Actually, he was talking bicycle.
Like, not motocross?
No, he was talking. Well, he did the BMX at 6, but he was talking more like mountain bike racing.
Oh,
Jimmy Johnson, Matt Kenseth did that sort of thing.
Yeah, that kind of a stuff. Yeah, he was on with that. What is that guy's name? Mamba on the Happy Hour thing with Kevin Harvick.
Yeah.
That's where he talked about it.
Yeah, well,
I only know it because they ran the damn thing when they tried to start the truck race twice.
Yeah, what are you going to get winning on that Schwinn compared to what you're going to get?
I'm just saying, honest to God, I don't think that Ty Gibbs wants to run the company. That
very well could be. And then the answer, the next thing to think about is Grandpa's not getting any younger. You've seen guys like, for instance, Roush, who has sold an ownership slice over to Keselowski, and he doesn't do very much except walk around and shake hands, like Richard Petty does with his, ownership, quote unquote ownership of that Legacy Racing Club. The time is not that far away for Joe Gibbs. What is he? He's got to be close to 80, right?
I would think so. I mean, that's the one thing at Gibbs Motorsports. They don't seem to have a plan. Hendrick has Jeff Gordon, being a part of their operation over there. Austin Dillon probably going to slide in and do some stuff at Childress. We talked about what Roush does. Penske's got people in line to do it. Gibbs doesn't, and that's kind of a concerning part for that organization.
And to be fair, though, when you've had so much tragedy with your sons, you might have had a plan in place, and then things go sideways. He's 85, by the way.
85 years old, still at the track every week, still having fun. Finally, lived long enough to see the punk winning races and becoming a driver. He's broken through to the next level, and take nothing away from him. We knew he had talent. It just took a while to translate it into the Cup car, because not everybody that jumps in these goofy ass cars is very good. A couple guys, you can see it, and some guys take Kyle Busch. Look at how many races he won in all the different stuff until he had to drive this monstrosity and try and make it competitive. So
Matt's telling us we're 2 minutes late.
Oh, yeah, see there? I wasn't watching this time. We'll be right back.
From racing engines to street engines, long blocks to turnkey packages, or complete custom engines, just ask and Wagner Automotive can fill your needs. All backed by many years of racing experience. These years of experience have provided reliability and performance that customers need to win races. Wagner's has been building championship-winning engines for top teams from NASCAR to short tracks in your backyard. This expertise has carried over to street engines they supply to top custom car builders. The Wagner Company in the heart of Wisconsin is outfitted with the state-of-the-art machinery necessary to design, manufacture, build, and test custom engines and their accessory parts. Dyno services are independently available for anyone needed to test their engine. Wagner's Company can also provide you or your company with production CNC machining or welding services. All your questions and requests are handled personally by Casey Wagner. Just give us a call at 920-394-3557 or visit our website at WagnerAutomotive.com.
Miller Sales and Service of Random Lake is where to go for a trailer, no matter what you're hauling. Tom and Jerry Miller have been selling trailers from B&B, Trophy, and Bravo for over 50 years. Quality and integrity is what put them on the map on the corner of 57 and K since 1939. Home of the number 89 dirt and asphalt cars of Brad Miller. That's Miller Sales and Service. It's where to go for a trailer, just 20 minutes north of Milwaukee. Call them 920-994-4358.
Ferraris, Porsches, Lambos, McLarens. They're all coming to Road America for GT World Challenge America, August 28th through the 30th. It's the most exotic grid of the summer, and they're not here to cruise. If you want drama, style, and world-class racing, this is your weekend. GT World Challenge America, August 28th through the 30th. Get tickets at roadamerica.com. Supercars Unleashed.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
So Joey Logano is 36 years old, as Junior Johnson told us on this program once. A driver's peak is when he is at his 32nd, when he's 32 years old. So Logano tied Matt Kenseth on the all-time win list yesterday with 39 wins. That's 21st all-time. By the way, Tim Flock also had 39 wins. But Kenseth won his last race at Phoenix there when he was in his 40s. Logano, at only 36 years old, has got a lot more wins under the belt yet. Don't you kid yourself. We're going to be seeing that for a long time. Dan just reminded me, first time we saw Joey Logano was at Madison when he raced against Matt Kenseth in those crate late models, and that place was absolutely jammed. And they were there to see Matt Kenseth, who was the point leader that year. Of course, he went on to lead most of the year and win the championship. But you remember this, Dan. People were cheering for Joey Logano. Look at him, 13, and he's hanging in there with Matt Kenseth. This kid is going to be a big star.
Yeah, it was a pretty big deal. I mean, watching that kid come in there and run that well. I remember talking to him with Ed, and he was mad they wouldn't let him run the Milwaukee Mile because it was a super speedway, whereas mile tracks, he was too young to do that, and he was upset about it. He wanted to do that kind of thing. And I think people just like seeing him, some kid come in there and run it good like that, like he was, and he could run with Matt. I mean, it kind of was shades of what was going to be. Mark Martin told us he was the greatest thing since sliced bread or something, wasn't that?
Yeah, that was from Mark.
Didn't he win like one of his first Busch races he ever ran too? I believe it was like maybe Kentucky or something. I remember being at Michigan camping, and he won the Busch race. I want to say it's Kentucky, and people were like, "Oh my gosh, it's like one of his first races out," and he won it right away.
He's going to be a big deal. Well, he certainly is that, and it's been really odd watching him struggle. You think, wait a minute, that's a Penske car with one of the great drivers of all time at the wheel, and look, they can't get out of their own way. What's wrong with Logano? Well, guess what? He likes to be dramatic, apparently. Let's shave our head and go ahead and make it in 6 races, go from 20th to 9th in the points. Absolutely amazing.
I think back in May, I said they weren't even going to get out of it. I thought they were screwed, that they were just terrible and Ford was terrible and it wasn't going to happen. But they said on some of the post-race stuff yesterday that there's been some changes. There's been some rule changes with the Ford stuff. There's been things going on that have helped them and gotten them better. And as a team, they've gotten better, and you can see it. So time will tell. I mean, next week at New Hampshire, they're going to probably be on kill there again too. Then you go to Daytona, all bets are off. And once you get to Darlington and you start running some of the 1.5 miles, I mean, I wouldn't put it past Joey Logano to come out of here and be right there. I mean, Reddick ran decent yesterday, but they've been struggling. I mean,
he'd fall off the map.
Yeah, I mean, the Gibbs cars are pretty much the class of the field right now. But if Ford and Logano and Blaney, for that matter, can give them a run for the money, it could be a really compelling chase down the stretch, which I'd like to see.
There's 2 more races to the cutoff, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
New Hampshire coming up next week.
New Hampshire and then Daytona.
16, and what's the point breakdown between, so let's say Joey stays in 9th place. How realistic of a shot does he have to win the championship?
Oh, anybody.
Everybody says you got to be in the top 10. So that was his big thing. He said it. He didn't know where he was during when they interviewed him after the race, and he goes, I'm trying to get into the top 10. They go, you're 9th. He goes, well, there you go. That part is accomplished. Yeah. So I think is it 5 points per position? I'll look it up.
Okay. Well, I think you have to avoid, number one, you have to avoid problems once the chase begins. And guys that can't avoid problems are just, you can't overcome that. So as long as you run consistently, I think you put yourself in a position where you could make a splash towards the end of the year. Now, we mentioned that next week, New Hampshire, the trucks are going to be racing at New Hampshire, not the NORP series. Their next race is Daytona in 2 weeks. So the trucks are Saturday. And speaking of the trucks, because it rained in Iowa on Friday night, there was a doubleheader yesterday, and Caden Honeycutt actually held off Corey Heim and won yesterday. A pretty impressive run. But of course, for me, the education of SVG is a story in itself. He started from the pole in a truck race, and because of I don't know what Prime has for pit crews, but they didn't send their A team to help SVG out. Put him to the back twice on pit stops, and he came back and finished fourth. And I thought, geez, maybe he's going to have something for him in the Cup race. No. They were crap all the way from top to bottom.
He was in that Spire truck, right?
Spire truck, the one that Kyle Busch won his last race in.
So the points, the winner of the regular season, which the champion gets 2,100 points. Second place, 2,100. Second place will start at 2,075. Third place will start at 2,065, and then it goes 5 points down from there. So right now, Joey would have 2,035 points and 2,100. So what is that, 65-point difference there?
So it's still a race.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's why this, everybody says stay within there, but it's only 100 points from first to 16th when they reset it. So we saw how quickly a large point lead for Reddick early in the season vanished when you don't run well. So anything's possible.
It's the fact that NASCAR has drama built in to the chase. That's what this whole, format is designed for. And you can bet that a guy that's 11th in the points, if things go right and he starts winning races, can go ahead and win this whole thing. So
break.
Just like that, huh? I'm daydreaming again. We'll be back.
Nature broke up our party for America's 250th birthday, but she could only delay it a little. Let's go racing!
Plymouth Dirt Track Racing! It's a Thursday night makeup special for the Independent Sturdy. Late models racing for $3,000 and $1,776 for the 360 sprints, A-mods, wingless sprints, and street stocks. Dirt flies at 5:30. July 2nd tickets are good this Thursday. Check out PlymouthDTR.com for details, and we'll see you Saturday night, too. Plymouth Dirt Track Racing. Miller Sales and Service of Random Lake is where to go for a trailer, no matter what you're hauling. Tom and Jerry Miller have been selling trailers from B&B, Trophy, and Bravo for over 50 years. Quality and integrity is what put them on the map on the corner of 57 and K since 1939. Home of the number 89 dirt and asphalt cars of Brad Miller. That's Miller Sales and Service. It's where to go for a trailer, just 20 minutes north of Milwaukee. Call them 920-994-4358.
The summer heat is on, and PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need with fresh mulch arriving daily. From premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to EnviroMulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800 or visit pmflandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years. PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
Chimney Mechanics installs and services wood, natural gas, propane, pellet stoves, and chimneys. We service all of Wisconsin, the UP, and Northern Illinois. We repair all brands and all models of fireplaces, no matter where you bought it. We do custom chimney caps, liners, chimney fire repairs, water and stonework, water leak repairs, and replacement dampers. We do new construction and insurance work. No job is too big or too small. ChimneyMechanics.com. That's Chimney Mechanics with an X. Check us out on Facebook.
Now, we remember that Rockingham, one of the really great racetracks to race on, it was 1.017 miles, and I just saw a story that they remeasured it, and it's 0.94 now. What the hell happened? That was purchased by the International Hot Rod Association. There is a drag strip across the street. I know because I landed on it in an airplane once. But they ran some races there this year. We had a Norp truck ARCA triple header, and Bob Sargent was the guy, right?
He was the promoter of it, correct?
Yeah, friend of racing in Milwaukee for sure. But he announced this week that there will not be any NASCAR races at that track. Now, I realize that ownership changed over to this IHRA, but why wouldn't they? I mean, this is me thinking out loud, and I'm not a promoter, and I don't have the money to pretend to be one. Why wouldn't IHRA lease the track to Bob Sargent and continue with a NASCAR weekend.
Because they're not going to own it anymore because they are getting sued and they have to liquidate all their assets.
Oh.
So they're not going to have the keys to the car anymore, so to speak.
Okay. That NASCAR hates uncertainty. They don't like dealing with anyone but the owner of the racetrack, which was what the excuse was why they never came to the Milwaukee Mile. With a Cup Series anyway. We don't like dealing with state fair boards and blah, 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 that kind of crap. So. Interesting. I really love the racing at Rockingham, and I'm not the only one that did. And it was repaved with taxpayer money this last year, and they put a pretty good race weekend on. It's a shame. Something's wrong. Who can we get to buy Rockingham?
Somebody with deep pockets.
Deep pockets, yeah.
But when you have a company that's in that dire of straits and just needs to, liquidate their assets, that's when you can get really good deals. So if you ever were to want to buy a racetrack and want to give them a bare bones, low ball offer, they might take it. So this would be the opportunity.
Start a GoFundMe, Brian.
Yes.
Right?
For Rockingham racetrack, we'll all be owners. What a great idea.
Worked for the Packers, kind of, as they're
It did.
publicly owned.
Richmond was a sellout last night. Did we talk about what the seating was in that place? Did they take seats out to make it easier to be a sellout? I don't even know.
Oh, yeah. The whole backstretch used to have seats on it. And if you saw coming out of turn 2, they had tarps over large sections of it. But, NASCAR's still on a roll with a sellout. Do you realize since Memorial Day, when they sold out the Coke 600, the only races that have not sold out are Sonoma, Atlanta, and Indianapolis? That's it. Every other race has been a sellout.
Well, and Indianapolis is a tough one to sell.
Yeah, Sonoma is a tough one. It'd be like
Sonoma
selling out
be a sellout. It's like Road America. You can only
correct. Right. Exactly. Correct. Yeah, but think about that. Think about all the ragging we've done on NASCAR over the years and how bad we talked about things look and all that stuff. But Memorial Day is a long time ago if you think about it, and how many races we've run since then. Yes, some of the places only hold 30,000 seats like Iowa, but I think they're starting to hit a sweet spot now and you're not having multiple races at these places where you're making it a tough ticket, which is what you gotta get it. You gotta get it to be difficult and people want to go there because, if you don't renew your ticket and you don't go this time, you're not going to be able to see it. Make it a tough, a tougher thing to get at, and you're going to have sellouts. And I think that's where they've hit that sweet spot right now.
So do we thank Michael Jordan?
What then?
Do we thank Michael Jordan for that?
Hey, he's lost more than that on a golf course already.
Really.
Maybe he wants to own a track.
But ever since that lawsuit, if things are going right, maybe that was
in North Carolina, which is his home state. And,
we've got a caller who might have the answer for you.
Oh, how about that? Bob in Sun Prairie waiting. Go ahead, Bob.
Good morning. They moved the inside groove up about 15 feet, so it shortened. NASCAR measures their tracks on the inside groove, and when they moved that up, it shortened the track, so that's why they remeasured it.
Doesn't that make it longer? I'm no math major, trust me, but wouldn't that make it longer? I just thought they did it 10 feet from the outside wall. Maybe they just changed the way they...
It's from the inside is what I just read looking through it. So, and they were very specific in the information, so... granted, it's AI. You know how AI could be, but that's what it gave me.
Yeah, they write wordy stories. I know that much. Well, thanks, Bob.
They do. Awesome. Well, appreciate it. Maybe we'll see you next Saturday in the Shagan wagon running around Jefferson.
The plan is to be there. I'm leaving tomorrow for Pennsylvania, but we'll be back Friday, so I think there's a chance I'll be.
All right.
Yeah, the Jerry race is next week at an unnamed track that doesn't sponsor us. That's somewhere near Johnson Creek. This seems like it would be a nice time to sneak away. We got some results. Oh, do we have the results for you? This is going to be a good one. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes.
It's Fox Brothers Piggly Wiggly Memorial Go-Kart Tribute Night at the Slinger Superspeedway. Come see 4 divisions with late models headlining a 50-lap feature. Affordable family fun. Kids 8 and under get in free, and it's just $40 for a family of 5. Join us as we race for a cause this Sunday night. Gates open at 5, racing at 6:30. Get your tickets now at SlingerSuperspeedway.com. That's SlingerSuperspeedway.com.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
Nature broke up our party for America's 250th birthday, but she could only delay it a little. Let's go racing!
Plymouth Dirt Track Racing! It's a Thursday night makeup special for the Independence 30. Late models racing for $3,000 and $1,776 for the 360 sprints, A-mods, wingless sprints, and street stocks. Dirt flies at 5:30. July 2nd tickets are good this Thursday. Check out PlymouthDTR.com for details, and we'll see you Saturday night, too. Plymouth Dirt Track Racing.
The ARCA Menards Series is back at Madison International Speedway for the Atlas 200, presented by Menards. Friday night, August 28th. See the Midwest Dash Series at 6 o'clock. Meet the stars during autographs at 7. And it's the green flag for 200 laps of ARCA Menards Series action at 8 p.m. Save big money at Menards on discounted ARCA tickets. Or for more info, visit MISRacing.com. Friday, August 28th, the Atlas 200, only at Madison International Speedway.
The summer heat is on, and PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need with fresh mulch arriving daily. From premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to EnviroMulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800 or visit PMFlandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years. PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
And now the LTN Hour presents Dirt on the Dirt with Brian Schmidt.
A big week with a lot of money on the line across the dirt tracks across the country here. We'll start Sunday, Knoxville, Iowa, the Capitani Classic, a big, prelim to the Knoxville Nationals. For the 410 sprint cars, Kyle Larson picked up the win on that one Sunday night. Monday night up in Eagle River, Wisconsin, they had their inaugural Rumble by the River for the IMCA B-Mods. Big race for them. Stock cars were an undercard. Mitch Stankowski was your winner, and they had twin B-Mod preliminary features. Jake Sacco and Shane Barr were your winners. Also Monday night, Oskaloosa, Iowa, the Southern Iowa Speedway, the Front Row Challenge for 410 sprint cars. $21,000 to win on the line. Kyle Larson picked up the win in that one. He threw a nasty slider on Ryan Timms, which Ryan Timms was none too pleased with. But, you know, that happens, yeah. Kyle says that happens. Tuesday night up in Eagle River, the Rumble by the River, $10,250 to win for the B-Mods, and Matt Avila was your winner. IMCA's stock car winner was Kyle Frederick. Wednesday night, the 65th Knoxville Nationals started with a preliminary feature. They take the field of just around 100 cars and split it in half. $12,000 to win. Sheldon Howdenchild, if you get a chance to see this video, he was in third on the last lap coming into turn number 3. He did a 3-wide last lap pass coming out of turn 4 and picked up the win in an absolutely exhilarating feature, if you're ever to see one for sprint cars, to win preliminary night number 1. Thursday night up in Sturgeon Bay, Wisconsin, the Hill Raceway. They had a fair race up there. Their fair going on. The IMCA stock cars were the headliner, and Larry Kartz Jr. was your winner. Also Thursday night, the other half of the field at Knoxville fired off, and Kyle Larson, as we talked about, he's won every race he's been in. He picked up the preliminary feature win Thursday night at Knoxville. Friday night up at Chilton, the Gravity Park Speedway, they had for the Grand Nationals, the Terry Van Roy Memorial. Jake Richards picked up the win in that one. The modified was Adam Abbey, and the stock cars was Brad Lubach. Francis Crick, the 141 Speedway, they had their Captain of the Creek 2-night special for the IMCA Sport Mods. Night number 1, the modifieds were the headliner. Will Garceau was your winner, and the stock cars was Nick Bakarma. Up at Seymour's, Outagamie County Speedway, the Dirt Kings Late Model Tour was there. Brett Swedberg picked up the win. IMCA modifieds went to Jaden Schmidt. Stock cars was Presley Harrington. Over at Menominee's Red Cedar Speedway for the Wissota Late Models, Ashley Anderson was your winner. Modifieds, Mike Anderson, no relation, I believe. And USRA Limited Lates went to Matt LeDuc. Up at Superior's Gondik Law Speedway for the Wissota Modifieds, Jody Belfouvier was your winner. And in Batesville, Arkansas, where it was 107 degrees, the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series started their topless 100. They had twin $5,000 to win features. Max Blair and Ricky Thornton Jr. picked up the win in those. Last night at Plymouth in the MSA 360 Sprints, Here's a name we haven't said in a while. Brandon McMullen picked up the win in the 360s. He's been filling in for Billy Kreutz, who bought all of Brandon's operation when he got out of it 2 years ago. Billy's injured, and Brandon hopped in the car and picked up the feature win last night. And talk about, or like riding a bicycle. Once you get right back on it again. IRA wingless sprints were there. Colin Sivia was your winner in the Grand Nationals. Good friend of mine, Josh Pierce, picked up his first feature win of the season there. Congratulations to him. Sturgeon Bay, the Hill Raceway, the Dirt Kings late models, $5,000 to win. Nick Anbeling picked up the win up there. IMSA Stock Cars was Caden Lemieux. Shawano in the modifieds, Tanner Yankee was your winner. Stock Cars was Trent Nolan. Francis Crick, the 141 Speedway, the captain of the Creek, night number 2. In the modifieds, Josh Long. Stock Cars was Mike Mullen. And the $10,000 to win.
Long?
Josh Long. Yep, Josh Long. Yes. Long. Long. And $10,000 to win for the IMCA Sport Mods was Brayton Carter. Rice Lake, the Wissota Modifieds, Kennedy Swan was your winner. Cedar Lake Speedway late model, Sammy Mars was your winner. Modifieds, Justin Weinbarger. USRA Limited Lates went to Cooper Sunby. And then we get to the big money races of the weekend. Batesville, Arkansas, the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series Topless 100. $50,000 to win. Dan Ebert, who is only in his second year ever in a super late model, picked up the win in it was a carnage. I wouldn't say carnage, but everybody in that race blew a tire at some point. So everybody had to change a tire. The track was really bizarre. It happens there often when it's 100 degrees out. But Dan Ebert was the last man standing, picked up the $50,000 to win check for his first ever Lucas Oil win. And as we talked about earlier, Knoxville, Iowa, in the wee hours of the morning, the 65th Knoxville Nationals will start after Friday rained out, so they made up the Hard Knocks night during the afternoon on Saturday. Donnie Schatz won that. That race, normal conditions, gave you a guaranteed spot, but because they wanted to slim the field down, the winner only got an 11th place starting spot in the C-Main, so Donnie was none too pleased with the rules they had there. Unfortunately, Donnie's streak of 20, I think it would have been 28 straight Knoxville Nationals came to an end. He did not go through the alphabet soup. But the $200,000 to win race that finished at 2 o'clock this morning, Kyle Larson picked up the win over Sheldon Houdenchild, and Casey Kane, who had a really great week, he finished third
How about
in the
that
Knoxville
for the
Nationals.
NASCAR boys?
Yes, and that is everything for this week.
You, PJ.
PJ, you're up, PJ.
Sorry, I was still stuck on the first name Ja, last name Schlong.
Yeah.
Last Sunday at Slinger the Rain was the winner. And then on Wednesday we had the battle at Berlin, Michigan with the UARA Super Late Model Race. Tristan McKee, he bested Bubba Pollard, who finished second, Carson Hocevar third, and Ty Majeski fourth. Cletus McFarland was there as well. He finished 19th. More on Cleet in just a bit. Friday at Golden Sands, the Pro Late Model winner was Jason Stark. Champion was Tyler Feitzer.
What, champions already?
Yeah, by 1 point over Brazen Bennett, so that was a tight one. Madison International Speedway late model winner last night was Carter Nilsson, and the season champion is Brent Edmonds. That's a Toby card, by the way. Norway Speedway, they had that state line challenge. They have 3 segments this year. 40 laps, 39 laps, and 40 laps, totaling 119 laps to honor Gene Coleman. The super late model segment winner number 1 was John Beal. Segment 2, John Beal. Segment 3, Penn Sauter. The overall winner then was John Beal. Cars Tour West was at the Summer Showdown at Evergreen Speedway. And the pro late model winner was Turner Brown. Kevin Harvick finished second. That car had to be used and switched over because Kevin's son Keelan wrecked the super late in a practice session. So they had to work on that pro late that Kevin ran and switch it over to become the super late for Keelan to run last night for that summer showdown at Evergreen Speedway. Carson Brown, the Swiffer. He sweeps right before turning left. He was your winner of that one. He had incidences with Jace Hansen and Ethan Ebert on that. Hansen ended up finishing second. Keelan Harvick finished third. That kid was the show, man. That was just craziness. Berlin Speedway had a really cool event that Cletus McFarland put on too. It was called the Big Ass Lake 75 Pro Late Model Race. And actually, Ty Majeski was going to stay and run that thing and get the car switched over to do it, but they decided not to, and it was a good thing they didn't because he wouldn't have made the truck race since it got postponed. No, they were going to switch it over to be a pro late. It was pro lates.
Okay.
So the winner was Dylan Stovall. He picked up $20,000. Bubba Pollard finished second, and Cletus McFarland finished 13th. Marshfield Speedway, the Jim Langrick Memorial. Jared DeBoer was your winner. And then Jefferson Speedway last night, Jason Erickson picking up the win. La Crosse Speedway, Mike Carlson won the first feature, Jacob Gady the second. Elko Speedway had the Dwayne Barron's Memorial. Grant Brown was the late model winner of that. At Dells Raceway Park, Ron Meister Memorial, Brad Worthen won the modified, and Mike Litchfield won the late model feature. Coming up next Saturday, the Orange Blossom Special Twin 61-lap features honoring Jerry Eckhart will be on Saturday night at Jefferson Speedway. 2 weeks out, August 30th, from the Alan Kulwicki Memorial AK-77 and the Wall of Fame induction at Slingers Speedway. And that's a wrap for Asphalt.
All right, perfect timing. We'll sneak away for a break and come back for the final segment right after this.
It's Fox Brothers Piggly Wiggly Memorial Go-Kart Tribute Night at the Slingers Super Speedway. Come see 4 divisions with late models headlining a 50-lap feature. Affordable family fun. Kids 8 and under get in free, and it's just $40 for a family of 5. Join us as we race for a cause this Sunday night. Gates open at 5, racing at 6:30. Get your tickets now at SlingerSuperspeedway.com. That's SlingerSuperspeedway.com. Miller Sales and Service of Random Lake is where to go for a trailer, no matter what you're hauling. Tom and Jerry Miller have been selling trailers from B&B, Trophy, and Bravo for over 50 years. Quality and integrity is what put them on the map on the corner of 57 and K since 1939. Home of the number 89 dirt and asphalt cars of Brad Miller. That's Miller Sales and Service. It's where to go for a trailer, just 20 minutes north of Milwaukee. Call them 920-994-4358.
From racing engines to street engines, long blocks to turnkey packages, or complete custom engines, just ask and Wagner Automotive can fill your needs. All backed by many years of racing experience. These years of experience have provided reliability and performance that customers need to win races. Wagner's has been building championship-winning engines for top teams from NASCAR to short tracks in your backyard. This expertise has carried over to street engines they supply to top custom car builders. The Wagner Company, in the heart of Wisconsin, is outfitted with the state-of-the-art machinery necessary to design, manufacture, build, and test custom engines and their accessory parts. Dyno services are independently available for anyone needed to test their engine. Wagner's Company can also provide you or your company with production CNC machining or welding services. All your questions and requests are handled personally by Casey Wagner. Just give us a call at 920-394-3557 or visit our website at WagnerAutomotive.com.
The ARCA Menards Series is back at Madison International Speedway for the Atlas 200, presented by Menards. Friday night, August 28th. See the Midwest Dash Series at 6 o'clock. Meet the stars during autographs at 7. And it's the green flag for 200 laps of ARCA Menards Series action at 8 p.m. Save big money at Menards on discounted ARCA tickets. Or for more info, visit MISRacing.com. Friday, August 28th, the Atlas 200, only at Madison International Speedway.
Tobin.
Not only are you downloading the LTN podcast and playing it for yourself at your convenience, but while you're doing that sort of thing, you might want to check out PJ's outstanding program, Racing Nuggets. And you got a new one this week, huh?
I do. Brock Heinrich joined me. I heard him on the broadcast at Madison, and I just thought, this guy's so funny. I should have him on.
Good.
He did really good on the mic. So anyway, just sat down with him, did a quickie interview, and you can catch that on either anywhere you get your downloadable podcast to listen to, or check it out on YouTube. And I'm trying to talk Tobe into doing one with me again. Ooh. I feel like there's much to discuss.
There is. Hey, Josh Berry, since he's been told he's not coming back next year, and they're replacing him with Jesse Love, which on the surface seems like it's pretty nice that, Chevrolet, he's been in the Toyota pipeline and the Chevrolet pipeline, and Ford is snatching him away for the 21 car. I don't know if that's going to make that big of a difference or not, but I think everybody likes Josh Berry and feels like he got a kind of a shitty deal. There's no reason. I don't know that Josh Berry is what the problem is with the 21 car. The last 3 races he's come on, he's been finished in the top 10 every time, and they think, well, where could he possibly go? And Dan, I think there were a lot of folks that thought he might have been able to replace Gregson in that 4 car.
I thought there was some talk there, but it looks like that's not going to happen. It looks like they extended Gregson for at least another
money.
year.
money, right?
Well, it could be, and that's what always thing with Josh Berry was he never had money back in him, which is kind of sad because he's a hell of a racer, and he's actually had a hand in a lot of other drivers' development that are moving on to things. Josh Berry did a lot of the setup work and did a lot of the hard work to get those guys to where they are now, and it's sad that he doesn't have any opportunity because there's no money behind him, and it's come to that right now where Berry's a racer that probably deserves to be in a car somewhere. But there's just no place for him.
It's like the good old days.
And everybody assumes he'll just land back at Junior Motorsports in one of his Norp cars next year, but that's not necessarily the case either. They talked about it on the Junior Download a couple weeks back, and Dale's like, I really, really, really would love to do that, but it takes a lot of money to run these cars, and you need to have some backing. And if we're able to come up with some backing and something would work that you'd be able to get Josh back in the car, he said I'd take it right away, but I can't just put him in there if there's no backing behind it. And that's the unfortunate circumstances of it. And that's why you saw the emotion come out of Junior the last couple of weeks when you see Carson Quappo get a win because he doesn't have the big backing either, but he's got the sponsorship with it. Now that he's winning, you can justify keeping these guys in there. So that's the fine line a guy, especially like Dale Jr., who's got a passion for this more than anybody, has to walk between, putting cars out there for friends of his, but also running a business.
Yep. It's a hell of a balance.
We were talking about the fact that these car owners are getting older and they have to start thinking about what the long-term plan is. It's going to say Hendrick Motorsports far into the future, I think, when Jeff Gordon gets old and gray while running the team, which is, I think, is what the future is there. It looks like it anyway. And, we know that Keselowski bought into Roush. And the old man doesn't do much anymore except, shake hands. We were talking about the Childress and what could be the thing, is it going to be one of the children grandsons? Well, remember that Mike Dillon, the kid's dad, raced and is active over there at Richard Childress Racing. Now, I don't know if he's the kind of guy that can run Richard Childress Racing, but there's another guy. He's got to be 80 years old also, right? I mean, seems like he is.
Yeah. I mean, Penske's up there.
And Penske,
Penske's 89 right now. He's going to be 90. Roger is.
And
still sharp at the jack.
And look at all the things he has on his plate. It's absolutely amazing. And what is the plan there?
This is where I think the problem is. When you've had all these Nepo babies or money-backed kids getting into the rides, you don't have a pipeline for ownership or transfer of ownership, like how with Jeff Gordon. Gordon ended up becoming a central figure that is actually in line to probably take things over, as we've discussed. You don't have that in any of the others because you haven't had people, they're steering wheel holders, basically, that have made their way up through funds that they brought to the table.
And Gibbs has Denny Hamlin, but he already got his own team.
Exactly.
Right. I believe Rogers, one of his kids is going to be, I can't think of the name off the top of my head, but if you look it up, you'll see one of his kids is in line to kind of take over it. And Rogers got a big group around him. Bud Durker's a big guy around him. He's got several other people around his group of all the, he's got irons in his fire everywhere. He's got IndyCar. He owns the series, for crying out loud.
Tim Cindric could theoretically just take over the reins.
Well, he was fired though. Tim Cindric isn't a part of Penske anymore. Remember, there's the big fallout there.
With the push to pass.
When they were cheating, would make it hard to run the organization.
Yep. I believe, I don't know if is it Jay, do you remember, Dan? Is it Jay Penske? Is that one of his kids? I can't remember. One of his kids is going to be running the business, but he's kind of out of the limelight.
I remember Tim Cindric because of the IndyCar connection there. He was
right. That's what also got him fired.
Yeah. Well, don't piss off the old man. That's something we want to remember. Hey, we're already out of time, and we're awfully glad that you tuned into this program. It's our honor to have you here. As I mentioned, this is the 1999th program. Next week, we're not doing a special thing anywhere. We're not going to do a live broadcast like we did for number 1000, but we'll mention it, and, we might even have a surprise guest or two on the program. So maybe you can, for number 2000, 2,000 shows, 50 shows a year for over 40 years. That's how that works. Hey, real race cars have doors, even if they do climb in through the windows. Let's Talk NASCAR is produced and directed by Dangerous Dan Margetta. Our engineer is Matt Losey, and for all of us involved with the program, We're glad you're here, and we'll see you next week, everybody.
This program has come to you live from multiple locations. Any and all comments expressed on this show do not necessarily express the opinions of this station, its employees, or advertisers. Your comments are always welcome at mail@ltnradionetwork.com. Find us at facebook.com/LTN Radio Network. And thank you for your support since 1985. Tune in again next Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Central Time for the LTN Hour on the LTN Radio Network.